Welcome to the Sheffield Sunday As Bill Sees It meeting. This is a main share meeting, and today is with great pleasure and much gratitude. We welcome Purdy from Brighton, who's come to share for about 40 minutes, after which we'll open for general sharing, or if you'd like to ask a question. Thank you, Purdy. It's wonderful to have you here, and the floor is yours.
Hey, thank you, Andy. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Young, for inviting me here today. Hi, guys. My name is Purdy. I'm a recovered alcoholic and I'm a recovering human being. We are not fighting. It reminds when Young saw this meeting, what a beautiful meeting. And this book is something I've never picked up. I've never ever picked it up. And obviously Young asked if I come and share, so I get myself a copy and I start looking through, driving Young mad. I flick over the pages. A new life is sobriety, all that we are to expect from a spiritual awakening. No, sobriety is only a bare beginning. It is only the first gift of the first awakening. Start to read through these pages. I'm messaging Young going, page 8. And then he gets a message off me. He's not ceased fighting, Purdy. He gets a message off me. How about 30? And then all of a sudden, but what I see is, oh my God, a chance to reflect. This book is beautiful. To look through, to look at these little parts, and then to take that time to stop, reflect, and think about that passage part in your life. We are not fighting. It reminds me about Peaky Blinders. No fighting, no fighting. Page 84 to 85. But what a truly magical thing that is. Feels like a complete spiritual overhaul, an awakening, a rebirth. How can this guy, this absolute lunatic, come in here and have a peaceful mind and not want to be in that fight anymore, or not be in that fight anymore? It's just taken away from me, that physical, psychological, spiritual warfare. Me trying to run the show. When I finally come to the reading, it was I said to Young, I'm going to go and have a walk. I need a walk. So I went out and had a walk, and then the ceased fighting anyone or anything just came straight out. Because exactly what I was doing. So you know what, guys, I'm going to start. Let me just turn myself down because I'm not actually 100% sure what I want to talk about today. I want to bring some stuff in about life and experiences through that non-fighting, through personal stuff that's happening, through stuff in fellowship, and really try and bring it current, and as opposed to me sort of speaking how I'd normally speak when I come in and share my story. God, I have no idea where I'm going. I do not see the road ahead of me. I cannot know for certain where it will end, nor do I really know myself, and the fact that I think I'm following your will does mean that I'm actually doing so. I believe the desire to please you does in fact please you. And I hope I have that desire in all that I'm doing. I hope that I never do anything apart from that desire. I know that if I do this, you will lead me by the right road, though I may know nothing about it. Therefore, I will trust you. Always. I will trust you always and not be lost in the shadow of death. I will not fear you, for you are ever forever with me, and you will never leave me to face my perils alone. Amen. So, not fighting anymore, not fighting this debilitating disease that I just want to fight everything. It's so scary, that loneliness, that debilitation of self. I couldn't speak. I had no voice when I came in here. In fellowship, you guys gave me a voice. This book, this fellowship, this relationship with God has completely changed my life. I wanted to tear the noises out of my head. I remember that feeling. If I just can't take any more in. I can't take any more in. I'm so full of lies and deceit and manipulation and avatar that I've created to get myself out of trauma. I've worked out in this program, it's to get myself, I don't want the pain that I suffered so I build this character of self. And it's by God's grace that I've been rocketed into this fourth dimension of living where I can be daddy again, I can be of service, and I can start to appreciate the now, be here now in a place of love, not fear. So many beautiful things do that in this fellowship. That silence at the beginning where we pray, to think that at some stage you guys prayed for me to come in here. And when I close my eyes now in that start, at the start, I feel it. I pray for someone. I genuinely wanted to come in and find recovery. Me and Andy were on a meeting the other night, and saw something that I'd never seen before. And it was a woman. She came in and she was the host. And after everyone shared, she said, "Thank you. We appreciate you're here. If we can just take a moment." And there was a pause and there was a silence before she introduced the next person to come in and share back. Wow. It felt incredible. It really did. So many answers are in that silence, and this spirit life is not a theory. We have to live it. These beautiful steps, 1, 2, and 3. I can't, he can, let him. 100% convinced without a doubt that my life run by Purdy can hardly be a success. Do this step 4, this moral inventory, or I get to see the truth, my part. If I don't heal from what hurt me, I'll keep bleeding over people that never cut me. And this heart, Young speaks about it, starts to soften. And it does. It's awareness. 4 and 5, getting right with myself. 6 and 7, the spiritual seesaw. Love in my heart from 8. Amends in 9. Getting to that 10, which is obviously what we're going to talk about today, but that close conscious contact with God, meditation, close conscious, all difficult at the start because it's so noisy, everything's so loud. Right, so at the end of step 11 and in step 12, I get to be of service. I get to help other people after having had a spiritual awakening, a profound shift in consciousness. I don't want to do the things that I want to do anymore. I don't want to drink anymore. How did that happen? So I think let's read page 84 and 85. Put it in a couple of parts. Page 84, halfway down, this thought brings us to step 10, which suggests that we continue to take personal inventory and continue to set right any new mistakes as we go along. We vigorously commenced this way of living as we cleaned up the past. We have entered the world of the spirit. Our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. This is not an overnight matter. It should continue for our lifetime. So continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. When these crop up, we ask God at once to remove them. We discuss them with someone immediately, and we make amends quickly if we have harmed anyone. Then we resolutely turn our thoughts to someone we can help. Love and tolerance of others is our code. How beautiful that step 10 process where we get to live in all the steps at all times. I'm very robotic at first. I'm being handed a load of AA prayers that I've got to do and I don't quite get it. And I'm praying to a God I don't believe in. Fundamental idea of God, we know this. I pray to him when the chips are down, when I've drunk my way into another divorce or I've lost another business or I'm behind bars or I'm curled up in a ball and grabbing my knees and crying out, praying to this God, please take me out of this. I'll never do this again. But to build a relationship with, didn't start that until it comes in here in that 6 and 7 process. And step 10 allows me to, in that moment, 10, 11 and 12, 10 lets me know that I'm in 6. I'm in me. I'm in the reason I've got pain and suffering and hurt. And the reason I'm feeling the way is because of my character defects, because of who I am. And I'm not going to change. I'm a sinner. Life changes. Life becomes quieter. Life becomes beautiful. Like we start to see, but it's not. It's an ever working thing. I get to do that in 6 and 7. I get to distribute me to God, build a relationship with, truly enter the world of the spirit. And that's step 10. I know I'm in step 6. I have to move it to step 7. I do that because I come to believe in a power greater than myself 2. I hand it over to the care of God in 3. I have that conversation with God in 5. I do that through my conscious contact with God in 11. I lean into step 12, which keeps me so far removed from 1. To work that program like this, it's a way of living. And that prayer life, that has changed. It's gone from a huge set of prayers that I used to sort of reel off and, grant me the serenity and God, I offer myself to thee to build with me. I understand and I get those prayers, but it's more of now a feeling. It's more now of a conversation with. Morning. And I start to talk and I start to open my heart up. And sometimes I get to have a little cry. Not self-pity. Just an emotional feeling from within as I start to build this relationship with this energy, this power, this God. The truth is revealed, for me in that confession, in that silence. I felt and witnessed spiritual experiences and guidance when I'm in there. And pray now. 6 and 7 for me is, God, I'm willing that you should have all of me, good and bad. I pray that you now remove from me every single defect of character. God, remove my self-loathing, my self-seeking that's keeping me drenched in self, shut off from the world and feeling less than. For days and days and weeks and weeks. Remove this selfishness. I'm not considering anyone's feelings. I'm just driven on what Purdy wants, what I think, what I need, God. Remove this dishonesty, this lying, my fabrication of the truth to get what I want. Most of the time, God, so I can feel how I want to feel. Please take it away. Remove my lust. I'm never thinking about the other person. I'm just driven by sexual wants and a need for closeness. But it's because I want to be wanted. I need to be loved. I'm a love junkie. That's what I am, God. I want to feel that. I want to feel that warmth. I want to feel that closeness. Remove it, please. Remove my anger, my acting out on my emotions with absolutely no pause whatsoever. Retaliating because I want it my way. God, remove this fear of loneliness. Oh my God. Fear of rejection, fear of not being wanted or loved. Take them all. Because it stands in the way of my usefulness to you and my fellows. And strengthen, please, God, strengthen my humility. I'm no more than, I'm no less than. I want to be helpful wherever I can. I want to be there for people. I don't want to judge people. Strengthen my unselfishness and my helpfulness. Put others before myself. Let me have a generosity of spirit. Strengthen my integrity and my honesty, and help me live in the light, in the truth, instead of polluting my mind with all the nonsense, the lies, fabrication. God, strengthen my intimacy, my true connection, my patience and my forgiveness. Strengthen my love, our greatest energy, to be kind and considerate and accepting. You strengthen my faith and my courage and keep me moving forward in love and happiness and growth and spirituality as I go out from here to do your bidding. Amen. I start this process of prayer for me, this conversation, and then straight into breath, straight into quiet. Like I say, the truth for me is revealed. This inventory isn't just when something happens. It has to be more than that for me, this step 10 inventory. It has to be constant. That's how I keep spiritual training, spiritual fitness. I have 10, 15 inventories a day. It's a lot less as my heart softens and as I walk a more peaceful life. But it still shows up. It still shows up. So I have to take that situation, that thought, that feeling. Loneliness is a big one for me. I can find myself, and sit there and convince myself that I'm with God and I'll never be alone, but I still feel loneliness. So I have to pray on that. I can do lonely. My Creator, I'm willing that you have all of me, good and bad. Please remove my fear of being afraid, being vulnerable, beating myself up, catastrophizing, being codependent, needing others, confused, priorities, demanding the world be my way, strengthen my acceptance. We'll start to distribute this me to God, this conversation with the spirit life is not a theory. And I start to feel something in there. I start to see the truth. I start to see miracles happen in front of my very eyes. I never thought it. I used to hear people sort of stand up here or sit on Zoom and talk about this stuff, have this peace, project this peace through the screen. And I never ever thought it could be a reality. Keep working at this stuff as time moves on, as you feel it through, and as we move through. I'm watching a TV program at the moment, and it's called Race Across the World. I was talking to Andy about it last night, and it's basically it's 5 couples, and at the beginning, the opening statement of this program, it's on BBC. But by flying over, are we forgetting how to travel through? And it's a program where there's some couples. And they start off, because you can get to Singapore from London without planes or anything else. You can go through. So you can move through and all the way around using buses and trains and walking. And basically what they do is they get a set of money, 1,500 quid each or something, and they've got to make it to Singapore. And what happens is these couples at the beginning, they're sort of troubled, and it might be a brother and sister who haven't reunited for a while, or it might be a couple of old friends. And you see this journey as it unfolds, as they go through, as they've got the stresses of life, which is always going to be the way. And they move through this thing, and at the end, they get to this place. And you can see this change in them, this quiet behind the eyes, this unity, this bond as it grows through this journey, and they cuddle each other when they got there. I see that, and I look at that program, and I absolutely love it. See, when I travel through and not fly over, that fly over in the fellowship for me, lying, buying, cheating, stealing, drinking. I get to experience the wonder that is life by not fighting, by moving through. In life, I get to experience this. There's been many spiritual experiences that have happened to me through this process of letting go, through this process of not fighting anymore. Speak about one quite a lot, which is the woman with the beat shut and number 9. But I remember it. I remember being in self. I remember being caught up in this. I can't do this. I don't want to do this. And it's sucking the life out of me. And I lean back into the steps. I lean back into step 2. I lean back into coming to believe that there might be a power greater than me out there. And I go and connect with this universe, this thing that just is. It just is. It's the truth. The wind, the thunderstorms, the rain, the lightning. It's the truth. Right there. It can be violent. It can be calm. It can be whatever it is. It just is. So I need to connect to that. So I connect to it. Something happens. A woman walks around the corner and she reaches her hand out to me, a total stranger. What if God was one of us? She offers me a beach hut. I remember coming back up to my flat and having that first real overpowering experience of, wow, what just happened then? Total stranger has just offered me a beach hut for me and my kids to go and play in whenever I want. And I was sitting here thinking to myself, I want a drink, to connecting with the spiritual life. And all of a sudden this thing opened up and I see it. People on a bus. I gave up the cars and the big £200,000 a year job, and Purdy being the director and the running, the eight of everything. The liar, the manipulator, the being the guy, whatever, that life. I gave that up. I could have that job tomorrow. I know that this is an incredible thing. I could make that phone call tomorrow and I could start there tomorrow and they'd have me back. And I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back there. I picture this old couple. I always remember him on the bus when I gave up the car and got myself a bus pass. Bus pass. I took call for school. What are you doing, Purdy? What's going on here? Get myself a bus pass and I get to witness the truth. I get to see there and see and sit people holding hands, love, have conversations with. I get off the bus after having this beautiful experience of having this chat with 2 people where my heart is just full. And the rain starts to fall and the rain hits me and I look up and it's almost that, I go, okay, I get it. I feel it. Recently, I was just off to Thailand and I was getting stressed. I was getting there wasn't enough time. There's not enough time. Selfish and self-centered to the core. That you're off to Thailand, Purdy, to swim with elephants and to bathe in the sun. But I needed shorts. I mean, for Christ, Purdy, there's not going to be shorts out there in Thailand. You're never going to be able to get a pair of shorts out there in Thailand. Heaven forbid. But it got into me because what it was I had to go and pick my kids up at a certain time. And I'd run out of time a little bit. My own, all me, all my fault. But I was running out of time, and I was getting stressed. I was breathing. I was trying to get through it, take away this stuff, but it was still over me. I had to get out of here, get on the bus, and get myself to town so I could get a couple of pairs of shorts, and then I could get in time to pick up the kids. My little plans, my little ideas, and I'm off. And I'm on the bus and I'm not feeling myself. I'm not really connecting. I'm not connecting with the people on the bus like I normally do because I'm busy. I'm in self. And I get off that bus and a little old woman's walking up and she's holding 2 carrier bags and she's holding them right up in the sky like that. And they're hanging down her arms and she's struggling to walk. And I remember that, getting off and going, looking up and going, really? Now? You know what I mean? I'm busy. I'm busy. What's the matter with you? Don't know how busy I am. With that soft heart that we lean into now, the first thing I do is walk up to that lady and go, hey, can I help you? Can I take your bags? She went, yes, please. That'd be lovely. And we walked. So I took her bags from her and we walked. And she lived about 10, 15 minutes from where we were. But there wasn't a thought of that whilst I was having a conversation with this person, whilst we were walking together, whilst we were, chewing the fat. We were just there in a place of love, not fear. And I dropped her off at her house and she said, thank you very much. You got a purse out, like the old purse to give me some money sort of thing. Can I give you some? I said, no, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day. And again, that hit me. Say like Hadouken. It's the way I sort of surround, that old game Hadouken, like Street Fighter. It hits me. It's like, I just see the truth. It's such an emotional thing. It's such a beautiful thing. I'm not thinking about that anymore. In fact, I've just decided get rid of the shorts idea, Purdy, and go and pick the kids up. I'm sitting on the bus and I can see again. I can hear again. I can see the truth. When I stop fighting, I feel and I see the truth. When my actions and my behaviors change, I get to see the truth. On holiday, when I went on holiday, I'm kind, I'm compassionate with staff, and I want to help. I want to in any way that I can help. That fight has gone. I start a new job tomorrow actually, and I picked up a car because I need to get about. I can't get about on the bus, so I picked up a car to get about and do this job. And the first thing I did when I picked it up, I remember, is putting the belt on, checking everything was okay. Is there enough fuel? And it sounds really daft, but I just didn't do any of this stuff. It just wasn't there, and just to drive. And I remember driving, a friend Laura came down for the weekend and we went to Arundel, and there's this bypass where you're sitting there and the traffic goes about a mile long, but not if you dart up the left-hand lane. You can dart up the left-hand lane at 80, 90 miles an hour, and then right at the last minute, just as the traffic lights are going to change, you can cut in, beat, put your fingers out the window, call everyone all the names under the sun, and you'll get there a lot quicker. I'm in the slow lane, and I like it in the slow lane. And you know what? I'm seeing all these cars, and I'm just thinking, oh my God, what was going on? What was I? What did I used to do? What did I used to think? And you start to think this stuff just in whatever was going on. I didn't have an opportunity to sit back. When I stopped fighting, I get to see this truth, and it's incredible. In fellowship, in sponsorship, we get to see the truth. Gorgeous, absolutely beautiful to be able to be calm, to listen, to support, to understand purpose. We know we've been there and we don't feel that way anymore. Meetings, love and tolerance of others is our code. Stop fighting, Purdy. People, I remember there was a guy came on once, spiritual cartel. You can't, this has got to be done a certain way. When I speak my truth, a guy came on and he did a reading. And it was the clean time countdown. And he went, right, we've had this beautiful meeting. As I see it, everybody's different, Purdy. We have this beautiful meeting. He comes on to read the clean time countdown. And he goes, is anyone multiple years, 18 months, 9 months, 6 months, 4 months, 12 months, 3 months, is anyone? And it was over in about a second. Couldn't breathe. How could he? How can he do this? How can he do this? And we start to go on this process, we get this opportunity to close our eyes. Bless him. Bless him for coming in. Bless him for speaking up. Because I couldn't talk when I came into this place. How dare I? How dare I judge what Purdy wants? Wheel of Recovery. Oh my God, there's another one. I remember that we do a Saturday night Wheel of Recovery where we spin 50 different topics. And I used to do this on another meeting when I was sort of 2 months, 3 months sober. And I come up with the idea that I'm going to put music to it. I'll tell you what would be really nice is if we have music. We're not a glum lot. People can come in, they can have a boogie, they can have a dance, we can listen to them, we can talk on topic. So Purdy has this great idea that he's going to tell the whole world about it. We had garage night, we had house night, we had hacienda night, we had hip hop night. And I didn't just send the flyer out to the groups, I sent the flyer out to every single person in my contact list. They had to come. They had to see this. And I started, there was 100+ people on the meeting and I'm sitting there ready to start. And I go to press play and nothing happens. Everyone's sitting there and there's a nice quiet on the screen. I'm going, 1 second, guys. Sorry, I'm just clicking the buttons and I'm going, nothing was working. Absolutely nothing was working. It was completely frozen. Right, give me 1 minute, guys. I tripped over the table. So I end up on there, I bang my leg, I'm trying to get the wires across. I plugged the wire into my stereo. The stereo, as I plugged it in, has gone, started making all these noises. I'm sorry, guys. 6, 7 minutes in, a room. Everyone waiting for the big show that Purdy was going to put on, that I wanted everyone to see and be. And it comes from a place of love. But when I start to run the show, these things happen. God teaches me. And there was a moment where I had to just get quiet and say, guys, give me 1 minute, and go over and get on my knees and say, thank you. Thank you. Reminds me of page 133. Just come to my head now. I'm going to read it because it come into my mind. We are sure God wants us to be happy, joyous and free. We cannot subscribe to the belief that this life is a vale of tears, though it once was for many of us. But it is clear that we make our own misery. God didn't do it. Avoid then the deliberate manufacture of misery, but if trouble comes, cheerfully capitalize in it as an opportunity to demonstrate his omnipotence. Thank you, God. Thank you for showing me that I'm a complete and utter idiot. I will never do that again. And we learn from it, and that's what we do in this place, huh? That's what we do. That's what we do. I get to see the truth. Love is a playground, not a battlefield. And I can quite easily get in that battlefield all the time with so many different things. Flyers. People deleting flyers at the start. How dare they? I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to help people here. What is wrong with them? And then I get a little bit more spiritually well as I see it months in and months in. And then I can sit there and put my hands together and I'll go, well, they're just, they're not spiritually well. They're still sick. They need to work their program. Wow, who am I? Just let it go. No more fighting. I don't want to fight no more. And I need to stop this fight. Because when I stop this fight, I see the truth. Every single time. I let go and let God. What else is there? Let's think about it. GCs. There's another one. Group conscience. I tell you what, it's a beautiful thing, the group conscience. It really gives you an opportunity to, and that's what traditions and everything else, fantastic. Things may not go your way. Oh, well, there's a few scenarios. There was someone that came in when we had spiritual cartel and they came up with the idea that they wanted the GC to only be 2 hours long. At 2 hours, it stopped. You come in and you say your voice. We're a big meeting. We've got a lot going on. I feel this. And it was voted in. But there's that opportunity, that point when the group speaks, that you can put your hands together and go, okay, and then let it go. I was on there the other night. I didn't get voted in. Didn't get voted into a position. I wanted a position. I put myself up for it, and I didn't get voted in. Me, I didn't get voted in. I am spiritual cartel. And I don't mean that. It's not from a place. I want everyone. I'd give service to everyone before me, and I want everyone to be okay. Oh my God! But it brings it up. It brings up that old. My mind wants to lie to me. Wants to convince me that I'm not enough. That's what it is. The trauma. No one loves me. I'm not good enough. It all comes back into play. And through prayer and through meditation and through getting quiet and stop fighting, I get to get in the truth again. I get to see the truth. I remember someone ringing me up once for Spiritual Cartel and they said, hey, Purdy, I like your flyers and stuff, mate, but I don't know who you think you are, but Spiritual Cartel is massive and the CA logo is tiny in the corner. And with this piece of, I've never even thought about that. I'm just trying to get things on the flyer to make it look, but I didn't think, but do you know what? It's how wonderful to be in a position. I said, oh my God, thank you so much. Do you know what? I've never even thought about that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to redesign all the flyers. Total stranger. I don't even think it comes on Spiritual Cartel. I'll redesign all the flyers and I'll get the logos exactly right because it's nothing bigger than fellowship. And I'll get the logos right. I'll take it to the group conscience. I'll ask the group what they want to do. And the group came back and they voted that that's what they want to do. And all the flyers were changed. Just from that simple conversation. How wonderful. It's not a fight. See, everything doesn't have to be a fight. It can be a conversation. We move through. We're drunks. We're alcoholics. We come into this, absolutely hopeless. And we're all just learning. But it's through this prayer, through this meditation that I get to really, really be and get to really see the truth. My family, my ex-partner, we go through this amends process. I sit there sometimes and it is actually incredible. It amazes me. I never ever thought this would happen. No chance in the world that I would be able to get back what I lost because of what I did, because of the person that I was, because of the fight that was in me with anything and everything. Just wanted to fight the world when it wasn't going my way. Oh my God. She left me and because I left her a stranger, she said to me, you're taking a piece of my heart. You're breaking my heart. Every time you promise me that you're going to change, you're breaking my heart. And you're taking a little piece of my heart with you every single time you do it. And I was sorry in that moment. Of course we were. I'm sorry. I'll never do this again. Frothy emotional appeals, contracts, and I'd do it again, and I'd do it again. And then she left me, and it was a year and a half after she left me, she met someone else. How dare she? And I was so angry. Still in it, still drinking. I bumped into a restaurant. I went into a restaurant, they were there. Walked up to the bar, ordered 6 tequilas, turned round, drunk them, and who is that person? I tore that restaurant apart. I made them feel so small and stupid. Myself, the whole thing was just ridiculous. He was so scared. I knew fella. What am I doing? I'm so full of anger because I want it to be my way. All the trauma with this, I want it to be because it's safe there. That darkness of the soul. Sometimes it's safe that I want everything I've broken. I want to put it back together all the time. And when it doesn't, the two don't meet up. The two don't marry up. It's a painful place. It's a very painful place. And I try to gain through control. I try to get that back. I try to get that feeling again that I'm never going to do this again. But I know I am. But in that amends process, we get to, and it's 6 and 7. 6 and 7. It's always for me 6 and 7, the spiritual seat. So I've got a new meeting coming out, 6 and 7, which is going to be on a Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. And it's an opportunity to sit down and listen to people speak about this 6 and 7, this surrender, or this, am I willing to die to self? Entirely ready to have God remove these defects of character and move them through into humbly asking him to remove and then into the light. Really want to hear people speak about that. And I can't wait. This 6 and 7 is, I'm still getting it. 666, the devil. You hate me, I hate you. I hate me back. You've deleted that flyer. Why'd you delete that flyer? What's your problem? 66666. Devil, 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 devil. I'm going to be 10 minutes late for picking up my kids. And my wife texts me. She goes, "Oh, drinking again, are you? Useless, you are. I'll get my new boyfriend to take him out to the park. Don't worry about it." And then the start, I want to go, you know how hard I'm working? I'm sharing and I'm doing stuff and I'm helping people and I'm not lying anymore. All stuff that she's just like, yeah, I've heard it 1,000 times before. I've heard it 1,000,000 times before. It's action that heals the soul. So through getting out of the fight, through this stop fighting, I get the opportunity to see the truth. I get the opportunity as the spirituality percolates through me, it seeps into her. And we don't even know it. I'm going to be 10 minutes late, turns into a barrage of abuse, maybe from her down the phone, because she's hurting still. She only knows what she knows. And I don't answer back. And I just arrive there 10 minutes late. And I get a bit of it on the door. Make sure you look after them. Make sure you don't kill them. Make sure you don't, everything else. My babies, But I get it. I get the pain that she's in. I understand it. I've done my step 4. I see my part in it. I had that conversation with her in 9 and have that amends process where she opens her heart and she tells me and talks to me. So I just have to move through, not fly over, right? And the peace comes. And then what happens is there's no fight there anymore. So that fight doesn't come from her anymore. She's stopped fighting. And then what happens is we become best friends again. We have a conversation where I go round there, have a cup of coffee. We have a few tears. She tells me that I used to be her best friend and we understand this process a little bit more. And there's no fight in me anymore. I don't want to fight the world. I don't want to fight her. But listen, she invites me around for Christmas to open presents with the kids. She's just rung me up last week. Said, I'm taking the kids on holiday to save me money on dog and cat sitters. Do you want to come round and live in the house for a week? Live in the house for a week. May sound stupid, but that just would not have happened, guys. A guy like me, the guy that came into these rooms, that would not have happened. But now we get the opportunity to do these things, to live this spirit way of life, for it to be apparent and clear through our actions, through our behaviors, through our motives, through the changing person, this incredible, magical thing. My kids, present, smiling, happy. I get to be daddy again today. I get to sit with them. I get to really be interested in what they've got to do, what they've got to say. They're in the room next door. I've made a decision to weekends. We're coming today. This was booked in before, but I've made a decision now that at weekends, before they go to bed that I'm in this. Change my sponsees around, move things around to have time with them, to make sure that I'm here for them, that I'm present for them, that, I'm daddy again today. I get to live a new life. And so do they. Love is our greatest energy, and I think it's just truly, truly magical. Let's go back to the book and read the second part, page 84. And we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol. For by this time, sanity will have returned. We'll have seldom be interested in liquor. If tempted, we recoil from it as though it's a hot flame. We react sanely and normally, and we will find that this has happened automatically. We will see that our new attitude toward liquor has been given to us without any thought or effort on our part. It just comes. That is the miracle of it. We are not fighting it. Neither are we avoiding temptation. We feel as though we have been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. We have not even sworn off. Instead, the problem has been removed. It does not exist for us. We are neither cocky nor are we afraid. That is our experience. That is how we react, so long as we keep in fit spiritual condition. I'm not sure how long I've been sharing, guys, but thank you so much. Young, everyone, for being here. Happy Sunday. I'm sending you loads of love, and I hope there's loads and loads of magic waiting behind your morning. Thank you so much for letting me share. God bless.